Hi everyone, it's Katrina. From lost worlds that float in the sky to abandoned places frozen in time, here are 10 of the most mysterious places on Earth. Number 10. Mount Roraima. This giant plateau soars up into the sky and is often surrounded by a sea of clouds. It has its own very unique ecosystem with many tall waterfalls and highly specialized plant and animal species such as pitcher plants and the Roraima bush toad. Located on the border of Venezuela, Guyana, and Brazil, 75% of the mountain is in Venezuelan territory. Also called the Floating Island, the cliffs rise about 400 meters into the sky. Made famous by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in his 1912 novel The Lost World, he writes that a group of explorers find dinosaurs and other extinct creatures are still alive on this mountain. Some people believe that's still a possibility. But before Doyle, there were the Pemon indigenous people that say that Mount Roraima is the stump of a mighty tree that once held all the fruits and most of the vegetables in the world. They also believe it was knocked down by Macunaíma, the trickster/creator god, depending on who you ask. This is the beginning of life as we know it, as when the tree crashed to the ground, life was released. The mountains are said to be sacred and are no place for the living to be, as it is full of gods and spirits. Many say that Mount Roraima inspired the Hallelujah Mountains of Pandora in Avatar, as well as Paradise Falls in Up. You see, adventure is out there. Number 9. Pripyat. Following the nuclear disaster at Chernobyl in 1986, thousands of people were evacuated from the neighboring city of Pripyat. Over 30 years later, most of the town is still there, frozen in time and left to decay. The city had over 15 schools, a large hospital, pools, amusement parks, gyms, apartment buildings, everything a growing community needs, and everyone was evacuated in just 3 hours. Pripyat looks exactly like it did in 1986, and the clocks are all frozen at 11:55, the time the electricity went out. Now, over 10,000 tourists go and visit the power plant and Pripyat every year. The government has created an exclusion zone, a restricted space with a 19-mile radius that surrounds the blast area. No one can touch any of the items or sit down on anything in this area, and everyone is checked for radioactive particles before they leave. While tour guides are happy to take you around and claim that the area is safe, Ukrainian officials warn the area won't be habitable for another 20,000 years. The lack of people has been good for wildlife. Elk, moose, and boar are now flourishing, along with their predators, the wolves and the lynx. The city of Pripyat itself serves as a warning for all of us and is one of the creepiest and most mysterious-looking cities in the world. Number 8. McMurdo Dry Valleys. The McMurdo Dry Valleys are a row of snow-free valleys in Antarctica. What? No snow in Antarctica? That's right. The dry valleys have extremely low humidity levels, and the mountains around the valley prevent any ice from flowing down around it from glaciers. There is loose gravel covering the bottom of the valleys, but no ice or snow. In fact, it is one of the most extreme deserts in the world, with its only lakes being saline lakes. No living organism has been found in the permafrost here. Researchers believe it is as close to Mars as we can get. However, more recently, water samples of blood falls have revealed metabolic processes never before witnessed, and some bacteria has also been discovered. It is believed that cold, dense air is pulled downhill by the force of gravity. These katabatic winds are so strong they can reach speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. When they descend, they heat up, evaporating any moisture that may be present. Any life found here is quite the miracle, and these mysterious microbes and unique bacteria might just defy all odds. Who knows what else is out there in this harsh, inhospitable environment? Number 7. Abandoned Military Hospital. Belitz-Heilstatten is a district in Belitz, Germany that is made famous by a hospital complex that contains almost 60 buildings. At first, the complex was built to treat tuberculosis and then became a sanatorium, but at the beginning of the First War, it became a military hospital. While some of the buildings have been restored, most of them are in terrible condition and are pretty spooky. In 1916, even Hitler was treated here as he recovered from an injury in World War I. Most of the area is now shut down today, but the Neurological Rehabilitation Center and an area researching Parkinson's disease remains in operation. For those working here, rumor has it, it is haunted. This may be the stories of the cruel treatment of those housed there that triggers the hallucinations. Or it could really be haunted, as most of it is still abandoned. As the hospital lived through so many years of turmoil, the place has seen many dark deeds. Now it is often used as a set for movies such as The Pianist and some of Valkyrie. Also, there is no shortage of videos of urban explorers and drones going over the place on YouTube. Number 6. Travertine Pools of Pamukkale. Pamukkale means cotton castle in Turkish, which makes sense once you see the pools in this place. They are made up of hot springs and travertines, which are terraces of carbonate materials left by the flowing water. From the hills on the opposite side of the valley, you will see the ancient Greco-Roman city of Hierapolis, built so that the people could enjoy the health benefits of the hot water. For over 2,000 years, people have been attracted to these springs. Deep in the earth, the water is heated by volcanic lava. It dissolves pure white calcium and then spills out of the surface of the earth where it seeps down the hillside. As the calcium cools, it creates these formations, making the hillside look kind of like a castle. While it looks like ice from a distance, it is actually the white calcium. Of course, in a place like this that has been around for so long, there must be a legend to go along with it. No one wanted to marry this Turkish girl because everyone thought she was ugly, so she threw herself off the travertine. However, she survived the fall and became beautiful and of course caught the attention of a lord. So now, everyone thinks that it is great for your health and can make you more beautiful. Number 5. Richat Structure. The Richat Structure, or the Eye of the Sahara, is a mysterious round formation found in the Sahara near Mauritania. It appears to be some sort of sci-fi experiment, but it is actually a deeply eroded, slightly elliptical dome that is 25 miles wide. This erosion of resistant layers is said to have created high-relief circular slopes, giving it the illusion of an eye from space. At first, scientists thought it was an asteroid impact structure due to its shape. However, the erosion theory is now the likely answer. Even now, they are still testing and studying the strange formation, and many people still have a lot of questions about it. There are also extraterrestrial studies being conducted in case some aliens had something to do with it, just to be safe. Unlike scientists though, most of us just enjoy the beauty and wonder of the formation, no questions asked. Although that alien thing is kind of interesting. Number 4. Shicheng, China. Shicheng City, or China's Atlantis, also known as Lion City, is an underwater city in the Chinese province of Zhejiang. This city is strange for 2 reasons. It was forgotten and lost for thousands of years, and it has survived remarkably well underwater. At one time, it was a maze of white temples, large buildings, and beautiful sculptures. But in 1959, the Chinese government built a new hydroelectric power station and they flooded the ancient city. Now it is under the man-made lake and can only be visited by divers. For over 50 years, the lake was simply known as Qiandao Lake. The government actually forgot about the city and the fact that they had covered it up. Somehow, the city was discovered again accidentally. How it took 50 years is unknown since it is simply 130 feet underwater. But the place is beautiful and there are many dramatic pictures out there of this lost city underwater. Number 3. Fly Geyser. Likely the most beautiful geyser in the world, Fly Geyser can be found in Washoe County, Nevada. It is just 5 feet high by 12 feet wide. So why is it amazing or mysterious? Well, look at it. It isn't natural, but rather the result of a test site after a geothermal power company drilled into the rock. No one knows what happened next to create this unique formation, but it was likely one of 2 reasons. The well was not capped correctly, or it was left unplugged. Soon after, minerals started rising and accumulating, creating the Travertine Mound. This is where the geyser sits today, growing slightly every year. Now these deposits have become 3 large mounds that rise out of a field on Fly Ranch. The geyser's trio spews scalding hot water, and it is now famous for its amazing rainbow coloring. Number 2. The Maunsell Sea Forts. From afar, these guys look kind of like oil rigs or something, but they're really just old sea forts known as the Maunsell Forts. These were built during World War II to help defend the United Kingdom. Each fort has built-in firearms and were originally used by both Army and Navy personnel, rarely. Each of the forts were built as a cluster of 7 stilted buildings that surrounded the central tower. At one time, catwalks connected each of them to form one large base. In the 1950s, they were decommissioned and got taken over by pirate radio broadcasting stations. One is the unrecognized Principality of Sealand, a micronation. Today, they are nearly completely abandoned and decaying to the point of no return. Why they weren't taken down, demolished, or repurposed is unknown. Number 1. The Door to Hell. If the name isn't enough to scare you, wait till you hear the story behind the Gates of Hell. Officially known as the Darvaza gas crater, the door, or the gate, is actually a natural gas field in Darweze, Turkmenistan. When seen up close, which you never ever really want to be, you will see fire, boiling mud, and orange flames in the hole. The crater itself is over 200 feet wide and over 60 feet deep. It was first identified by Soviet engineers in 1971. That's when drilling began and a natural gas pocket was discovered. The drilling created fissures throughout the ground that caused the ground around the pocket to collapse and release the gas. With the release endangering nearby towns, the engineers decided to light it on fire. They believed it would only take a couple of weeks for the fire to stop burning, but over 40 years later, the gas continues to burn. This is the reason that many people actually believe that this is the gateway to hell. Thanks for watching! Were you surprised by any of these? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you next time.